Washington, D.C. The courtroom was packed. Cameras flashed, tension rippled through the air, and the entire nation held its breath as former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi took the stand in a stunning legal showdown that left Senator Elizabeth Warren in the hot seat and the country reeling from the final verdict. What began as a quiet, behind-closed-doors ethics hearing exploded into a full-blown courtroom spectacle, complete with secret documents, fiery cross-examinations, and bombshell allegations that would make even the most seasoned political junkie choke on their morning coffee. The accusation that lit the fuse. Pam Bondi, known for her relentless pursuit of corruption and courtroom tenacity, came prepared with what she called a classified financial roadmap, a 47-page dossier allegedly connecting Senator Warren to a hidden web of dark money influence, funneling campaign funds through nonprofit shell groups tied to regulatory decisions. Standing before the court, Bondi didn't mince words. "This isn't politics. This is deception at the highest level," she declared. "The American people deserve to know who's pulling the strings and how deep the rabbit hole goes." The courtroom erupted, gasps, shouting, objections. But Bondi didn't flinch. Elizabeth Warren fires back. Warren's legal team immediately fought back, calling the accusations fabricated, desperate, and politically motivated. The senator herself took the stand, delivering a sharp and defiant defense. "This is a witch hunt dressed as a courtroom drama. I've spent my life fighting corruption, not profiting from it." But the tide shifted when Bondi's team introduced an audio recording allegedly capturing a backroom conversation involving policy influencers tied to Warren's campaign discussing ensuring favorable rulings through third-party groups. Suddenly, the entire courtroom went silent, the verdict that shocked the nation. After 3 grueling days of testimony, cross-examinations, and media frenzy, the jury returned with their verdict. And it stunned the entire country. While no criminal activity was definitively proven, the court finds clear ethical violations in the handling of campaign-associated funds and recommends censure. CENSURE. A formal rebuke from the highest level, a rare, devastating blow for a sitting senator, and one that carries lasting political fallout. Warren, stone-faced, walked out of the courtroom without a word. But the damage was done. A firestorm of reaction social media exploded within minutes. Bombshell began trending within an hour. Calls for Warren's resignation echoed from opponents. Supporters decried the trial as a GOP-led circus. Pundits called it the most consequential ethics ruling in a generation. Even moderates found themselves rattled. Polls conducted in the wake of the verdict showed a 12-point drop in public trust for elected officials across the board. Bondi's final word in a press conference after the trial, Bondi didn't celebrate. She warned, "This isn't about Elizabeth Warren. This is about accountability, no matter your title, no matter your party. Washington forgot who it serves." Today was a reminder. The lesson: justice has no party. In the court of law and the court of public opinion, truth always finds its moment. Whether you believe Bondi was a patriot or a political pit bull, the message was clear: power must answer to the people. Because when accountability is silenced, democracy begins to rot from within. And when the courtroom doors finally close, integrity is the only verdict that ever truly matters. The fallout hits the fan: media, mayhem, and maneuvering. Within hours of the verdict, every major news outlet scrambled to update their chyron. WARANCENSUREDB ATTLELI NSDRAI NEINWNISHINGTO, and cable news lit up with dueling panels. On one side, conservative voices hailing Bondi as a guardian of transparency. On the other, progressive leaders calling the trial a weaponized smear campaign designed to kneecap 2028 frontrunners. And at the center of it all, a thunderstorm of unanswered questions: who funded the investigation? Was this only the tip of the iceberg? And most chillingly, who's next? Capitol Hill in chaos, the panic behind closed doors. Insiders report that following the verdict, a wave of panic swept through Senate offices. Staffers were spotted shredding documents, clearing calendars, and consulting attorneys at record speed. Why? Because Bondi just hinted that this was only phase one. A cryptic remark she left reporters with before disappearing into a black SUV. The court heard one voice today. There are more coming. Much more. Cue the sirens. Cue the silence. Congress just got real quiet. Political earthquake. Will Warren survive this? Senator Warren, long considered a powerhouse in progressive politics and a potential 2028 presidential contender, now finds herself at a dangerous crossroads. Despite the censure not being criminal, public confidence has taken a nosedive. Overnight, major donors pulled support. A previously scheduled rally in Boston was postponed indefinitely. Campaign staffers are reportedly restructuring a code word for bracing for collapse. The Democratic Party issued a lukewarm statement of continued support while urging a return to core values. Translation? We're watching closely. Pam Bondi, the reluctant avenger? Now hailed by many as a crusader against corruption, Bondi remains unapologetically defiant. Refusing book deals, declining talk show appearances, and rejecting political endorsements, she's sending one loud message. This isn't about fame. It's about fire. And I'm just getting started. But whispers around D.C. suggest Bondi may already be quietly assembling a special legal task force with subpoena power and investigative reach. Sources say her next targets may include 2 sitting governors and a former cabinet official. A secret committee emerges? Late Friday evening, multiple outlets confirmed the formation of an ethics oversight coalition led by former federal judges, whistleblowers, and bipartisan watchdogs allegedly funded by private citizens and tech entrepreneurs furious about institutional decay. Rumors suggest Bondi has been advising the coalition behind the scenes, shaping the mission, and identifying priority cases. If true, we could be witnessing the birth of a shadow tribunal with more public influence than any congressional committee. Final thought, the reckoning has just begun. Elizabeth Warren's censure may be the headline, but the real story is far bigger. This is about a system under siege from within. It's about voices rising from every side demanding truth, transparency, and trust. And it's about people like Pam Bondi stepping out of the shadows and into the courtroom not to play politics, but to pull the mask off of it. Because in a democracy on the brink, exposure isn't an attack. It's a lifeline. Final lesson. Truth is not red or blue. It's owed to you. In the wake of chaos, controversy, and courtroom showdowns, it's easy to get swept up in sides, slogans, and scandals. But this story, Bondi vs. Warren, reminds us that accountability should never be partisan. The system only works when those in power remember they serve the people, not themselves. Whether you're a senator or a citizen, transparency isn't optional. It's the foundation of democracy. Pam Bondi may have stood in the courtroom alone, but behind her were millions of Americans tired of backroom deals, political doublespeak, and leaders who forget their oaths the moment the cameras turn off. Elizabeth Warren's censure isn't just a warning shot to one politician. It's a wake-up call to the entire system that no one, no matter how powerful, how progressive, or how protected, is above the truth. So, what's the takeaway? That the pursuit of truth will always rattle the comfortable, challenge the elite, and stir the status quo. But without it, we're not a republic, we're a performance. Truth is not partisan. Justice is not optional. And trust must be earned every single day. The real verdict? It belongs to the people. Always has. Always will.